Hello and welcome to this video, which is designed to help you navigate our website to find out more about our registered nursing program. Specifically with this one, I'm going to focus on the preparation and requirements that you need to apply to our program. So if you go to solano.edu and then you click on the A to Z index, and then we're going to see an alphabetical listing of our different departments at the college. So we will go to N for nursing. And then we see 4 different links. So we have a CNA program, it's Nursing 103. So if you click on that, it'll tell you what you need to do to pursue that. We do recommend that you become a CNA as you are, it's not required, it's just recommended so that you can get an idea of what it's like to work with patients, what it's like to work, one-on-one in the healthcare setting. Solano offers the program. You don't have to do it at Solano. You could do it through an adult school or through a local hospital. What I really want to focus in on is the nursing program registered. So if we click on this, right away you're going to see September 1st through the 30th. This is when we accept applications to our program. So for students that have finished all of these requirements that I'm about to go over, you are welcome to look through here and see the steps to apply. But students that are applying for this September are hoping to make it into the lottery to be chosen for the fall of 2021 class. And we take 48 students in to make a class. So if we scroll down here, there's a series of different links. You see we have a link to the TEAS exam. We give the TEAS exam here for free in July. It is something that you want to get the study guide and do the practice exams. You do not have to take the TEAS exam at Solano to come to Solano. You can take it through go to the ATI TEAS website and select a location that you might prefer. For those of you that are just getting started off on this journey of nursing, the TEAS exam is one of the last steps that you'll do in the process. We have this RN articulation guide. So for some students that are coming from other campuses, we get quite a few students. We have a sampling of some of the different community colleges that we've encountered and the typical, the classes that are equivalent to our pre-major courses. So that could be beneficial for you to look at. This is not a complete list. It's just those most common colleges that we've encountered. But what I want to focus in on are the preparation and requirements to apply to our nursing program. So I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger. That's pretty big. Okay, so you have to complete all of these requirements, again, to be eligible for the lottery. So the first requirement, you have to have a high school diploma or equivalent. So you can definitely read through that to make sure that you have that met. And then you have to complete all of the nursing pre-major courses with a letter grade of C or better. So that includes anatomy, physiology, and microbiology. I'm going to be showing you the sequencing of those here in just a moment. Nutrition 10 is a class that you can take at any time. There is no prerequisite to Nutrition 10. CDFS 70 stands for Child Development and Family Studies. It's a class that covers the whole lifespan because nursing is preparing you to work with all ages from birth to death, essentially. Pharmacology Nursing 52 is one of the last requirements that you take at our campus because it has physiology as a prerequisite. Psychology 1 is a class that you can take at any time, Intro to Psychology, because you definitely need to get some insight into human behavior as you will be working with people in the nursing field. You have to have at least one of these critical thinking courses. And so that involves public speaking, different kinds of speaking, persuasive, debate, and then we have English 2, which is critical thinking and writing. Any of the speech classes you can take at any time. Okay, so you also have to complete all of the general education requirements because we are an associate's degree program. So, and because we are a community college, we have different options for the general education. Option A is our local 21-unit general education pattern. This is for the associate's degree only. Sometimes a student will choose this pattern because it's a faster pattern, but we do recommend, you can use that pattern to apply to the program, and then between the year that you apply and you go in, you should do the GE for transfer, because the hospitals are requiring students to have a BSN. So two of the other GE patterns that we have are IGETSI. IGETSI stands for Intersegmental General Education Transfer Curriculum. This is a GE requirement that fulfills the requirements at the University of California, UC Davis, UC Berkeley, or the CSUs, as well as Solano's associate degree requirements. And then you have the California State University GE pattern, which fulfills the GE requirements at the Cal States, as well as our local GE requirements. So all of these patterns have to include what we call a cross-cultural studies class. That's the study of diversity in some of these different areas. So I am going to be making another video that talks about the GE requirements in a little bit more detail. And so if a person has a bachelor's degree already or an associate's degree from a regionally accredited institution, your general education requirements are met. So I just want to say that now. And while I'm thinking of it, I also want to mention that it's good to prepare, if you're just getting started off, it's good to prepare for multiple programs, community college programs, four-year college programs, private schools if you can afford it. Sometimes students will ask, well, why would I do a community college program when it's just an associate's degree and not try and go directly on to a bachelor's degree? Well, that's a good question. Getting into a bachelor's degree program right from a community college is highly competitive. You have to have very strong grades, very high TEAS test score. So a lot of times if a student doesn't make it into a California State University for nursing, they'll do an associate's degree program to get the RN, the clinical part, and then they do a bridge of an RN to BSN program. So we talked a little bit about the TEAS already, taking the TEAS test towards the end of your pathway through the prerequisites. You have to earn a 62 or higher on the TEAS exam, and you have to do that within the first 2 attempts. So if you take the test twice and you don't get the 62 or higher, you're not eligible for our program. So that's why you want to make sure that you really study for it and take the practice exam so that you can take it hopefully just one time and get a good score. The next thing that we're going to look at is the composite score. So Solano uses the Chancellor's Office Composite Score. Essentially, it's an Excel formula that we use. You have to earn a 73 or above in the composite score. So the highest a person can get on the composite score is a 91. That's 91. So we recommend grades of A or B in English, anatomy, and physiology. And you'll see in a moment why, because those grades in those classes are weighted pretty heavily in this score. So we look at your overall college GPA. So if you have along the way earned any D's or F's in classes like, let's say, philosophy or English or any class, and you did not retake that class, you want to do something called academic renewal, which typically most colleges have. It's a process where as you meet certain criteria, you can petition to disregard those D's and F's in the calculation of your grade point average. So that's just something to look at. English 1 and higher English gets its own place in the composite score. So that's why you want to do well in English. Communication is essential in nursing. I noticed that if a student gets C's in English, it really hurts their composite score. So we no longer have a prerequisite for English 1. You can go right into it. But if you feel weak at all with English, you're going to want to take English 310D, which is a support class with English 1. And then your core biology, anatomy, physio, and micro GPA has its own spot in the composite score. And those classes must exceed 3 semester units with a lab. Our anatomy and physio are each 5 semester units, but some campuses they're lower. And then this currently right now says no online courses accepted. Now that was before this whole pandemic. And so we are going to lift that because the reality is right now students can only take those classes online. And then your core biology repetitions, if you get a WD or an F in anatomy, physio, or microbiology, it really hurts your composite score. So you do not, if at all possible, you want to avoid getting WDs or Fs. That seem in anatomy, physio, and micro. I want to say that those repetitions are only for anatomy, physiology, and microbiology. So the semesters that you're taking those classes, you want to make sure that you're really ready, academically prepared, things are squared away in your personal life. Because they are rigorous classes, you want to take them only one time and get a good grade. Now, sometimes students will take those classes and they'll earn a C grade, and then for other programs, other programs might allow you to retake it for a better grade. So if that's you, we will not, you won't get any points deducted if you have a C the first time and you take it again and you get an A. Our college will use the original C in the composite score. So then that's the composite score. So then if you move down here, this is showing you the required prerequisites for physiology and microbiology. So if you have taken chemistry at another college, it tells you that you just need to provide proof of your transcript to us. We recommend taking one science course per semester and sequencing these courses as follows. Chemistry first, then anatomy, physiology, and finally microbiology and pharmacology. Nursing, I don't think I've said this yet, but the preparation for nursing, you really want to take your time and be very methodical and don't rush your preparation, because if you get C's throughout this process, it really eliminates your chances of what programs you can get into. So it really doesn't matter how long it takes you to prepare, as long as you get solid grades. So you have over here anatomy, which is Bio 4. It's a 5-unit class. We have no prerequisite to anatomy. However, the professors have recommended that students take human biology, which is Bio 16. Bio 16 also has a lab, so if you really wanted to prepare before you went into anatomy, that's a strong recommendation. And then over here for chemistry, we have lifted our prerequisite for chemistry. You can go right into chemistry 10 or chemistry 12. There's just two different types of chemistry. Chemistry 12 is inorganic and organic chemistry on our campus, and it was specifically developed for pre-nursing students. However, there's usually only like 1 or 2 sections of Chem 12 a semester, whereas Chem 10, there's far more sections. If you have never ever taken chemistry before, we strongly recommend Chemistry 160. Again, remember, you're building a foundation here for your courses and also for your future profession in nursing. So you want to have a strong foundation so you continue to get strong and you don't have any holes in your preparation. So you have to have anatomy and chemistry before you can take physiology. And we recommend that you take anatomy this semester right before you take physiology, because you use the knowledge of anatomy in physiology. And then microbiology is over here, and that just has chemistry as a prerequisite. The last requirement, Pharmacology Nursing 52, this is a course that has physio as a prerequisite. Excuse me, I've been talking too much. So I want to thank you for tuning in, and we wish you all the best success as you prepare for your journey in nursing. And certainly, please come in to see us in the counseling department so we can help you to develop a student education plan to meet your goals. We wish you all the best, and everybody stay healthy.